Teen Vaping, presented by ATS The Bridge, Bradley County Schools, and Cleveland City Schools.
Welcome back, everyone. Mix 104.1. We're on mixtv.tv. My friends Jay and Brittany Hagee join us. Allon Planning Partners.
Hello,
guys,
Steve.
good
Hey,
morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Well, we're talking about surprises today, so I think you were surprised you were on the air just a minute ago.
Oh, wait.
Wait, where am
Wait a second. Where are we?
Surprise, so
Surprise.
it's actually what we're talking about today, so it worked out really
Well,
good.
it did. And look, when you talk about surprises, what does that mean when we're talking about Allon?
Well, when we sit down with folks every day and talk about their financial situation, a lot of them come to us because they have faced some kind of financial surprise.
A lot of
Doesn't
times.
always mean bad. It can mean good.
Right.
It might maybe an inheritance. There's some kind of inheritance that was left to them, or the passing of someone that
maybe a new
allowed
baby.
that, or maybe a new baby, or planning for their kids to go to
Mm-hmm.
college, or a myriad of things bring them to our
Right.
table. And we want to talk today about some of those surprises that catch folks off guard and really help kind of bring some light to those things to be thinking about proactively instead of on the backside. Oh, whoops, this just happened. Now what do I do? Let's talk about it on the front end so that you can be best prepared. And especially when you're looking at folks transitioning from working years to retirement years.
Some big surprises there.
There's a lot that goes into that transition. And we find that there are kind of two categories, so to speak, of surprises that these folks face. One would be the financial surprises, the things like longevity, having to plan longer than they thought for that stage of life. Healthcare cost. We all know healthcare is expensive, but when you really get to the nitty gritty, it's even more so than you even kind of conjure up or think.
And here's one that I find a lot is lifestyle cost. A lot of people think going into retirement, man, I can tighten my budget and be fine and not have to spend as much money as I am now. Surprise, you're not going to.
Yeah.
Surprise, you're actually probably going to spend more money than you are while you're working right now. And we have really three phases of retirement that we help people walk through. The go-go years, which is the first 5, 10, 15 years of retirement, the slow-go years where you slow down a bit, and the no-go years eventually, right? And you'll spend different amounts of money in each one of those categories. But people are really surprised a lot of times when they're first retired to be like, man, my budget actually needed to increase, not decrease when I
Right.
retired, because I wanted to travel to see the grandkids. I wanted to go on these trips and see things I haven't seen before. I wanted to do renovation projects to my home.
Right.
We see it all the time. So we try to help people prepare not only for inflation surprises in retirement, but you probably will spend a little bit more than you realize in retirement as well. So let's prepare for that before the surprise hits
Yeah,
you.
and then two other quick ones, inflation and market volatility. When it comes to the financial surprise of things, those are two things that catch people off guard because they think, well, I've been positioned one way in my investments my whole life, and man, it's done great. Like, it's gotten me here. Look at what I've been able to amass. And they don't make adjustments, and then something happens, and just like that, things change drastically in their situation. So there can be adjustments made proactively to prevent those, to be able to preserve, yet still grow what you've worked to amass. So the financial surprises is one category. Another category is the emotional component. And this is something that is really underestimated when we talk with folks moving from working years to retirement years. And it's the surprise that catches them off guard. Let me give you an example. I sat down with a woman about a month ago, and she had been retired for about 6 months. We've helped her navigate through this. And she sat down at the table with me, and she just started crying. She was really overcome with emotion and saying, I just need something to do. I feel void of purpose. And I'm surprised. She was surprised by that because she's one that kind of enjoys the slower
There's an
pace.
identity crisis. Yeah.
But she's come to a point to where it's like, whoa, okay, I've done this with the grandkids, and I've done these things with my girlfriends, and my husband and I have traveled some, but man, there's this void that I've got to fill.
Well,
and so transitioning from working years to retirement years and not giving up all purpose.
Well, a lot of
right?
times
carrying
we build
that and repurposing.
We
in
build who we
retirement.
are on what we do. And that's a mistake from the beginning. So if you're still working today, never build who you are on what you do, because that's where you end up with those emotional identity crises, right? One day, Steve, you won't be on the radio anymore.
Well,
and
praise the Lord. That'll be a celebration.
one day I won't be giving financial advice anymore.
Yeah,
I
another
can't.
celebration.
Yeah, that's right. I can't emotionally, dictate I am who I am because of what I do, right? And so that's another message for another day, probably. But we help folks through those emotional surprises because a lot of times, without even knowing it, man, have I been doing this for 2 decades, 3 decades. I'm working and I love what I do to help people. The next thing I know, I'm not doing that anymore. Where's my value? Who am I?
Yeah.
So we not only talk about retirement and helping people financially move, but we talk about repurposement to where we can help people move into the new purpose of whatever this season of this life is, of their life is. So we want to help with all of those emotional surprises and financial surprises so that you thrive in retirement. And that's what we want to see.
And the last thing I want to mention is that something that folks experience in that phase as well is this decision fatigue. Because without a true comprehensive plan, every financial decision feels insurmountable. It just feels overwhelming and so big that you don't know what to do. But when you actually have a plan, which is all those 5 components working together, your investments in healthcare, your income strategy, taxes, estate planning, when all of those things actually work together, it brings, priority to what's most important in your life, so that when you do have to make those financial decisions, it comes smoother, right? It comes more natural and easier because you have aligned your priorities, you have set the plan in place, and it empowers you to make those decisions rather than set you back in a mode of fear. I don't know what to do or how to do it. It actually empowers you when you take that proactive approach and plan ahead. And that's what we want folks to experience. Like, that's the passion behind what we do, is trying to get that right there to people. Not trying to get something from them, but get that feeling and that experience of, man, I'm empowered to live the purpose and the calling that I've got. I'm empowered to use the resources I've got in my hands for the purposes that I want and for the things that I want. And that's what we want to get folks to be able to experience, which is bottom line why we do what we do.
And a very peaceful feeling when they do that.
That's the hope.
Right.
How do people get in touch with you guys?
Well, you can reach out to us directly. Call us 423-315-1441. Or at our website, there's a ton of resources on there talking about things like we're talking about today and much more. That's allonplanning.com, ALLON planning.com. And you can also schedule your complimentary consultation right from our website, or call us again, 423-315-1441.
And the last thing I'll add today is that if you are listening today and you don't know where to begin, a great place to begin is to visit allonquiz.com, ALLONQUIZ.com, and there is a simple basic questionnaire that will ask you a series of questions to help you determine where you are on this in this planning process. If there's things you need to think about, if you've got all your bases covered, it'll give you reassurance that you do. Whatever the case may be for you, it gives you a starting point. So if you're listening today and you don't know where to begin, allonquiz.com is a great place to start.
I love it. Allon Planning Partners, and we'll come right back in a moment.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. No legal or tax advice is provided. Always consult with a tax professional. All rights reserved.